Besides gardening in the ground, you can do a variety of things by gardening in raised beds or in containers. Because raised beds and containers are not in the ground, they give you greater control over the growing conditions and your garden soils. Being off of the ground means that the soils generally warm up earlier in the spring and it can give you a jump start on the growing season. Being above ground also improves the soil drainage if that's a concern in your particular location. Gardening in containers and raised beds can be a great way to avoid challenging soil conditions, whether it's bad drainage or poor or rocky soils. Another big benefit of containers and raised gardens is that they can be adapted to a variety of spaces. Container gardens can be used to fill a small patio, or containers can be used to provide some color or punch to a regular garden. The enormous flexibility of these types of gardens creates endless opportunities for creative gardeners. Raised beds on the ground can have several advantages. I've been using raised beds that are just 6 inches tall in my vegetable gardens for a few years now. They are filled with a combination of regular soil from my yard and some additional fill, plus compost and soil amendments to improve the soil. Over the years, I have found that the raised beds do warm up and dry out more quickly in the spring, allowing me to get started in my garden sooner than if I was planting directly into the ground. They also help with weeding because I can focus on weeding a single bed at a time, and it's okay if the walkways get a little bit weedy and overgrown. These beds are 3 feet wide, which makes it easy to reach into the beds from either side and work in the soil. The beds are 8 to 12 feet long. Some of the walkways are only about a foot and a half wide, but the center walkway is wider to accommodate a wheelbarrow. You don't even have to build raised beds if you don't want to. Just mounding or hilling the soil to a height of a few inches tall can help raise soil temperatures and improve drainage. This is why it's recommended to grow some heat-loving plants like cucumbers and melons in hilled soil. Containers and planters also provide endless options for gardeners. Garden soil is too dense and heavy for containers, so a potting mixture is used instead. Garden soil is too dense and heavy for containers, so a potting mixture is used instead. Because containers are relatively small and drain quickly, they need to be watered more frequently than in-ground gardens. Hanging baskets dry out particularly quickly and can need watering twice a day in warm weather. Because frequent watering is necessary, there are some self-watering containers available that can provide water to plants for a longer period. When selecting a planter, try and choose the largest size that is practical for the plant and its location. Larger containers can store more water and won't dry out as easily. A large container also provides more room for plant roots to grow and will reduce the need for you to repot it every time it gets bigger.